We forfeit. We surrender. I'm waving the white flag. If I had a towel, I would throw it in. Georgia Tech, please. I'm begging you, have mercy. If you can hear me, let us score at least one touchdown. It's been too long. It's been 2 games, 9 quarters. I've forgotten what it feels like to score touchdowns, to win games, to laugh, to smile. Before we get into the video, I just want to remind you guys that I have some new Miami themed shirts on the merch store, and you can check them out by clicking the top link down in my description. I really think that this is some of the most unique Canes game day gear on the market. You're gonna love them. What's going on, Canes fans? What a wild couple of days it's been for your boy Coop. In case you didn't know, I was actually in Miami for the Florida State game. I actually stayed for about 4 or 5 days in total. And even though the final result of the game was absolutely terrible, meeting some of you was the highlight of my trip. I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you that came up to me and said hello, took a pic with me, high-fived me, talked Miami football, or maybe even just talked life a little bit. It was really cool to be able to put a face with a profile name online for those of you that don't have your face as the profile picture, and get to know you guys on a little bit more of a personal level. So the Caneswear Takeover was an awesome event. There were so many people that showed up and got the Coach Coop Cane for Life wristbands. If you missed out on that, hey, listen, I still have more things coming up with these. I was able to give out a couple hundred, and I still have a couple hundred more. So don't get too bummed out if you didn't get a wristband. I've got some big things planned for those coming up really soon. But thank you guys so much. As I said, you made the trip worth it no matter what the outcome of the game was. And man, oh man, do I have some stories to tell you guys. I got to link up with so many big time donors at Miami. Some people who actually work at the University of Miami, some former players at the University of Miami. You guys saw the pics on Twitter, right? I know it seems like I'm always boasting and bragging about it, but I got to hang out with Brett Romberg for a little bit, John Beeson, Amon Richards, and a bunch of other guys, and it was a really, really good time. And I got to hear some stories, so you do not want to miss some of the live streams coming up, the Friday night stream or the Sunday night late night Real Talk streams, because I'm going to give you guys some really cool stories and we're going to chop it up, and it should be a really good time. Shout out to Jerry. Jerry is somebody who I think typically doesn't want to be named, and I'm not going to go into details, but I just want to say shout out to Jerry. Jerry, you know who you are. I appreciate everything that you did for me while I was in Florida. And look, I know you're here for the preview, and we're about to get in it, but I just got to show you guys a jacket. Hold up. I'm not editing anything. I got to show you guys this sick jacket that I picked up while I was down in Miami. This honestly might be my new favorite. Come on, what do y'all think? Yo, what do y'all think about this? Come on now, man. I live down here in Tennessee. It's nice and chilly fall time right now. Might be my new favorite one. But anyways, let's get into today's preview video. And Miami's done.
You suck!
I'm just going to be blunt and real and get straight to the point in this one. We have checked out. There is absolutely no hope for the remainder of the season, and we are past the point of no return. The problem is that we still have 3 more football games to play, and the game coming up this week against Georgia Tech should have been one that we feel really good about. I mean, it's Georgia Tech, right? And right now they have an interim head coach. They technically have an injured starting quarterback. They're only averaging 17 points per game, but somehow we have found ourselves in an even worse position. Low football IQ all around, weak, slow, too much hesitation, also an injured starting quarterback, no run game, just bad football all around, and it's spiraling out of control at the moment. It's going to be tough for us coming off of a 45-3 beatdown at home against our in-state rival when Georgia Tech is coming off of a win last week where they were down 27-16 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they fought back and won. I already told you guys in my Florida State reaction video that I'm just going to pretend that game never happened. We didn't play it. Miami versus Florida State, that already happened. I thought that game got canceled for the 2022 season, right? I mean, I personally didn't see it on TV, so it didn't happen, right? It looks like quarterback Jeff Sims might still be out for this game. I've heard that he's still in the process of healing and that things are going well, and nothing has been confirmed at this point in time. Just so you guys know, I do not have confirmation on this, but even if that is so, even if Jeff Sims is still out for this one, Yellow Jacket fans are feeling pretty good about Zach Pyron after he led them to victory last week. Both teams find themselves fighting for bowl eligibility, and I personally don't think that either one of us get there. I mean, we both need 2 more wins, and when you look at Georgia Tech's schedule after us, assuming that they beat us, they still have to go through North Carolina and Georgia. Let's assume that Miami somehow miraculously beats Georgia Tech. Well, we still have to go through, guess who? Clemson and Pitt. And do not come down in my comment section and tell me, Coop, well, Georgia Tech is easily beatable. And Coop, we are way better than the Pitt Panthers. We are not way better than anyone. Period. But it will be very interesting for Miami to see who the starting quarterback is in this one, because against Florida State, we all know the story. They marched out Tyler Van Dyke. Somehow he re-injured or re-aggravated his shoulder throwing the ball away in the second quarter. I personally don't think he was 100%. Mario and the staff continues to preach that he was ready to go. He was healthy. If he wasn't, then they wouldn't put him out there. But I'm calling BS on that one. I know I'm just a fan. I'm just calling it how I see it, what I saw on the field. Also with Jake Garcia, he did not appear very confident. Again, he's had issues with throwing interceptions and fumbling the ball. So does this staff march out Jakari Brown for this game and possibly even start him for the rest of the season? We'll see. But let's go ahead and briefly take a look at the history between these two teams. Miami and Georgia Tech have faced off 26 times in total, with the series tied at 13 apiece. So this game is going to be the tiebreaker. The most recent matchup was last year, and Miami squeaked by in that one, 33-30. And now for some average stats so far this season for both of these teams in 2022. So far, average points per game coming into this one for Georgia Tech at 17, Miami at 24. Points allowed against them per game, Georgia Tech 28, Miami 25. Average yards so far this season per game for the Yellow Jackets, 325, Miami 398. And yards allowed against them per game, Georgia Tech 410, Miami 354. Now, it really did just kind of hit me while I'm going through this. A lot of people are going to ask me, Coop, how do you continue the passion? How do you continue to pump out content for a Miami Hurricanes team that is 4-5? Nothing going for us. We're struggling. I'm done, Coop. I'm finished with the season. I understand, and I do not blame you one bit, but man, this is all I know. Even when things are down, even when we're struggling, all I know is the Miami Hurricanes. It's what I do. It's what I love. It's what I'm passionate about. So if anything, if things are going bad, if we're having a tough time, I'm still going to come up here on this platform and vent. I don't run. I don't hide. I'm locked in. I'm in it for the long haul. I am ride or die. If the ship is going to sink, bro, I am sinking with it. But anyways, I'm getting way off topic here for a preview video. Let's go ahead and also take a look at 3 keys to a victory for both of these teams. And I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with Miami. So coming in at number 1, I don't even care how stupid this sounds. Really, truly, I do not. Score a touchdown. Pretty tough to win if you can't get the football in the end zone, right? Number 2, score a second touchdown. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we must find a way. And lastly, take the darn football and put it in the end zone. I don't care how. Just do it. Hopefully enough times to actually win the game. And now 3 keys to a victory for the Yellow Jackets in this one. Coming in at number 1, start quarterback Zach Pyron, even if Jeff Sims is healthy. Now hear me out. Pyron can play one more game before burning his red shirt, and this is the last winnable game on your schedule. I say you can argue whatever you want, but I don't think Georgia Tech fans are going to put up much of a fight in this argument. This is your last winnable game. I really think that the freshman QB Pyron gives you your best chance to win this one. You go ahead and play Pyron here, and then if Sims is healthy, you bring him in for the North Carolina and Georgia massacres. Number 2, continue to create turnovers like you've been doing. Georgia Tech's defense is forcing almost 3 turnovers per game. Miami's offense ranks 115th in the country in total turnovers this season at 20. This could be a recipe for disaster for the Canes. And lastly, I said this last week for FSU, and I'll say it again for Georgia Tech. Don't be afraid to take shots and use lots of motion. Our defense continues to get easily confused and is regularly out of place, especially when there's motion. We just don't seem to adjust accordingly. There's not enough communication on the defensive side of the ball. Or maybe we just lack football IQ. Maybe it's just bad coaching. Maybe it's a combination of all of the above. And also, as I said, with taking shots, just throw up the 50-50 ball and your guy will probably, most likely, most definitely come down with it. And now it's time for everyone. You know, it's normally time for everyone's favorite part of the video. Unfortunately, I personally believe that we're going to hit a record all-time low on the channel for views on a preview video because it's Miami versus Georgia Tech, the battle of the 4 and 5ers, the ACC's bottom of the barrel, Bally Sports Media, like, right? Are you with me? Man, y'all are the real ones who continue to watch these things even as the product on the field continues to stink it up. I am bringing on a special celebrity guest picker that I am very excited about, and we're both going to give our picks and score predictions. But before we do, I still want to give the completely pointless, doesn't mean a thing, is almost always incorrect ESPN matchup predictor, at least for the Miami Hurricanes games anyways. They have Miami's win percentage chance coming in surprisingly at 55.4% and Georgia Tech at 44.6%. I think they probably just flipped the coin and said, we'll give Miami the edge in this one. However, when it comes to betting, Georgia Tech is favored by 1.5 points, and the over-under right now at the time of filming is coming in at right around 44 points. So if you're a betting guy or a gal, do what you wish with that information. Now, if you want a potentially easier way to win some cash, you could show up to the Friday night call-in stream, the Miami versus Georgia Tech, and give your score prediction for the game. And if you get it right, you win $500. No questions asked, no strings attached, and it should still be a really good time. We'll vent about Florida State. We'll vent about Miami Hurricanes in general. That's this Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Same place, same time. It's what we do every single week. But until then, let's go ahead and bring on the special celebrity guest picker for this one. Let's do it. Introducing a guy who taught me how to cook the perfect turkey using football terms while also making fun of the Hokies. A dude that I once performed a coordinated dance with on camera on the spot with no previous practice. Georgia Tech's biggest fan and fellow YouTuber, C-Dog! Y'all give it up for my man C-Dog.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Hey man, look, I do not practice those beforehand, by the way. So some of that's off the dome. Some of it I have written down. We just go with the flow around here. Try to have a good time. C-Dog, how you doing today? I appreciate you being the guest picker for this video.
Absolutely, Coop. I'm so stoked that you had me on here, man. I really appreciate everything you bringing me on here. Yes, we did meet in person at last year's Slob Olympics, or this year, I guess, and
Yep.
it was a great time. Our coordinated dance, it was flawless and perfect, and it was a great time. So I'm just stoked to be on here and talk about this Miami and Georgia Tech game. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, usually I take it easy on my guest. We kind of ease into this thing, but I'm just going to hit you with a hard, tough question right out of the gate because I feel like that C-Dog can handle it.
Yeah.
Who and what exactly is Buzzsaw?
So it is funny that you ask about the buzzsaw. That you mentioned of course, where the buzzsaw did indeed cook a turkey,
Mhm.
but in the Virginia Tech game, that was amazing. But yeah, the buzzsaw, he appears on my channel every now and then, and there seems to be some kind of confusion. A lot of people seem to think that me and the buzzsaw are the same person. I'm not actually the buzzsaw.
Interesting.
Maybe it's our both of our dashing good looks, where you would kind of think we're the same person, but no, that's not me. That's me and the buzzsaw are friends. He's appeared in several videos with me and everything. And but the buzzsaw is a Georgia Tech super fan wrestling personality that is an enigma of himself. I mean, nobody knows the true identity of the buzzsaw. He's gracious enough to come on my channel and do some videos with me, and he really takes it to the opposing team. You know, if you're in
Yes.
the sights of the buzzsaw, then beware.
And that's why it was so interesting because I try to do my research before I bring these guests on. And I knew I wanted to ask you about the buzzsaw, but every time I Google it and try to find information on him, it takes me to your channel. That's it. I go to Google Images and it's just pictures of him on your channel. So other than on your channel, I don't see him anywhere. It's the craziest thing ever. So
Mm.
it's interesting. So then that kind of leads up to my next question here. You are also a fellow YouTuber, and I wanted to ask you, what is one of the favorite skits that you've ever done on your channel, or possibly just one of your favorite videos that you've done? Because we all have one, right? One that we remember doing that we just loved every moment of it. What's one of your favorites you've done?
So obviously anything with the buzzsaw is probably. I have a playlist, by the way, on my channel called Sea Dog's Best Videos, and those
Okay.
are it's chock full of. If you go to that, it's at the top of the playlist tab on my channel, and it is full of what I consider my best videos. But the one I'm probably most proud of, that doesn't include the buzzsaw, would last year's SEC championship game, because besides being a Georgia Tech YouTuber, I'm also a University of Georgia hater YouTuber, if that makes sense. So I'm constantly against I'm constantly streaming Georgia games, pulling against the team that is playing them. And you can see above me, I have an entire rack of hats. So I'll wear their hats and everything. So I made a compilation of which I featured each hat of each team that Georgia had played that year, and of course, they went undefeated up until that point in the regular season. So it would show the hat on my hat rack, and then it would show me like in the post game video, like mad that they didn't, beat Georgia. I would be
Mhm.
throwing the hat, or throwing in the trash can, or stomping on it, or something like that. And then it got to the end, and it was a box that said "Old Reliable" on it. And so, of course, I pick it up and I uncover it, and it shines on me. And the box contains an Alabama hat, Old Reliable.
Oh.
And Alabama hadn't lost to Georgia in so many years
Yep.
at that point. And so I put the Alabama hat on. I showed the 2nd and 26 national championship game where Alabama beat them at the last second in overtime. And and then I said Roll Tide. And sure enough, Alabama whooped UGA in the SEC championship, and that was probably my favorite. Yeah.
Well, I've decided that I probably need to stay away from those SEC games because I made a video for the national championship game with Georgia in it, and I think I titled it something like "Stetson Bennett is a loser" or
I
something
loved
like
that
that.
video, Coop.
You
I
saw
loved
it?
that video.
Oh
I
man,
think I commented on that video. I said, I love this.
they came at me. Woo!
Oh man.
I'm staying away from that, man. I'm gonna stay in my lane.
Yeah.
Cover the Canes, man. Make fun of
Listen.
Florida State and UNC. All that.
Yeah.
But man, I gotta say, my favorite video for me personally on your channel was probably the one that you did with you. And well, I guess it was actually the Buzzsaw. I can't remember if you made an appearance, but Buzzsaw definitely made an appearance in the Clemson game when you fought when he fought the ukulele.
The Buzzsaw versus
Yes,
the ukulele.
that was my favorite, man. Like, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. You have to go check out C-Dog's channel. Listen, like we play Georgia Tech, pretty often. So I'm telling you, even if you just go check out his channel and watch the Miami versus Georgia Tech stuff. And here's what I'm gonna do. I didn't tell C-Dog about this ahead of time, guys. So what I'm gonna do, I think you're around what, like 890 something subscribers, 900 subscribers, something like that. I want to see us get C-Dog to 1,000 subscribers. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to link his channel down in my pinned comment. It's also going to be in my description. Go to C-Dog's channel, hit the subscribe button, and then leave a comment on his newest video. Whatever newest video that pops up at the top, leave any comment, doesn't matter what it is. And if we get into 1,000, I'm going to pick random people and send them these Cane for Life, come on camera, work with me, Coach Coop wristbands. These were limited edition. This is something that I was only handing out to people that met me in person in South Florida for the Florida State game. So if you want a couple of these for free, I'll cover shipping and everything. Subscribe to his channel, leave a comment on his newest video. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. Man, look, if you're literally like 100 away, thousands of people are going to watch this preview video. We can get him to 1,000 subscribers. And like I said, guys, he might be a little mad because he didn't know I was going to say that. He didn't ask me to do it, but I know we can do it. And the reason why I love your content, C-Dog, is because you like to cut up and have a good time, and I can see the work that you put into it. You do the funny little skits, and that's what I'm all about too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get a hard time for it, the diss tracks and all the crazy shenanigans, but that's what makes this thing so fun, man. So I'm telling you, you guys are missing out if you don't go check him out, for real.
Wow. That I really appreciate. You didn't have to do that at all. And that means the world to me, really. I'm coming up on 2 years on YouTube since I created my channel, and that was something that I was kind of a personal goal I had for myself. I was to hit 1,000 before that 2-year mark in December.
Hey.
So man, I appreciate that. That is so cool of you.
It will happen. Watch the
that.
power of this college football family, man. I'm telling you, watch it. After this video goes up, refresh it.
That.
Watch, bro. Watch.
So, okay. So I do have a warning. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably a Miami fan.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to come on my channel and
you didn't throw the U upside down, did you?
To put it lightly.
You didn't throw the U upside down, did you? Wait a minute. No.
To put it lightly, I'm not the world's biggest Miami fan. So you might see me if in all likelihood, you're probably going to see me throw down the U and talking mad trash to Miami. Uh,
That's
so
okay.
just a fair warning. But it's all in good fun. You know, Georgia fans, they flock to my channel. 90% of my channel is Georgia fans, and I absolutely trash them all day, every chance I get. So it's nothing new to have rivals, and everything on my channel.
I do want to ask you real quick about Georgia Tech because I know you guys have an interim head coach right now. You did, I believe, go ahead and hire a new athletic director. Uh, it, the head coaching search, are there any updates at all? You follow them closer than I do. And if there are no updates, or maybe also if there are, who do you want? Does Sea Dog have a wish list?
I did. I made like an hour-long video of my top 10 coaches wish list.
Okay. What
As
are a
soon
couple? Some of the big ones.
Yeah, as soon as Jeff Collins got fired. So towards the top of my list, I had, of course, Deion Sanders. How cool would that be?
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be wild.
just for just for the hype of it. Look, it's probably not the most responsible choice. Um, it's probably not likely to happen, but I can't. I mean, if Georgia Tech was to hire Deion Sanders, I would probably be acting like Miami fans saying that we're going to be going 100-0 every year.
Right.
Oh, sorry. There it is. It slips out, everyone. I can't help but poke fun of it. I can't help it.
We do it. We do it. We're off-season champions, Sea Dog.
Listen,
every year. I can admit it.
Coop, I'm gonna be honest. If every Miami fan was like you, I wouldn't hate them. I wouldn't at all. You are the gold standard for a fan, but unfortunately, most of them are like T2Y.
Uh-oh.
And which
Shots
fun
fired.
fact.
Uh-oh.
Fun fact, in the off season, mind you. Now I want you to think back to the off season. I'm sorry I'm getting off track here.
You're good.
And I'll answer your coaching question, but I wanted to get this in at some point. Think back to the off season when Miami was obviously going to be going 100-0,
Mhm.
and Georgia Tech was picked to finish very last in the Coastal and be one of the worst teams in the country.
Mhm.
I made a bet with Hurricane T2Y that $100 straight up on the Georgia Tech Miami game. I bet him $100 straight up on the Georgia Tech Miami game, and come the game, Georgia Tech's favored. So just want to point that out there.
So that bet still stands?
Oh yeah,
It's still active? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I reminded him of it because he forgot about it, and he said, "Oh, easy money." I'm like, "Okay, we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see,
okay.
Pinecone."
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to that. But to get back to the coaching, sir. Sorry, I went off on a
You're
tangent.
good.
I really wanted to mention that about my buddy Pinecone. But so the coaching search, obviously, Deion Sanders would be amazing, and then who's really climbed up my list is Jamie Chadwell from Coastal Carolina. And I can't
Interesting.
help but think of how good our players would fit into his offense. I just think it would be really nice. We do have a dual threat quarterback in Jeff Sims. If he can stay healthy, which we'll talk about that.
Mhm.
Obviously Jeff Sims is for a while. But if he can stay healthy, the RPO hybrid type offense that Jamie Chadwell runs I think Jeff Sims would do really well in that offense because he's become a lot more accurate of a passer, and it would just be really neat to see that. So Jamie Chadwell, as far as realistic candidates go, is really near the top of my list.
Yeah.
And
like you said, realistic. I could see that. That could happen.
So those are my two favorites, and I would behooved if I didn't mention. I do not want Bill O'Brien. Okay, please no Bill O'Brien.
Really? Okay.
No Bill O'Brien. Don't want him. No, I wouldn't be very happy about that.
Now going into this game against Miami, let's get down to the nitty gritty a little bit here. And guys, we're about to both give our picks for this game, so hold tight. It's coming up here in just a moment. Assuming that Jeff Sims was ready to rock, he was good to go. I'm seeing a lot of Yellow Jacket fans that are big on Zach Pyron now, all of a sudden, after the comeback win against Virginia Tech last week. Question for Sea Dog. which quarterback would you roll with if Jeff Sims was ready to go? Do you go back to Jeff Sims in this Miami game, or do you continue to put Pyron in?
Yeah, Jeff Sims without a doubt. If he's
Okay.
100%, it's hard to say, if you can tell if he's 100% or not. The real argument here is what about like an 80% Jeff Sims versus 100% Zach Pyron? That would be what is kind of a more realistic situation. But yeah, assuming Jeff Sims is 100%, absolutely, he's the best quarterback on our team. And Zach Pyron, as great as he's got moxie. I mean, to come back to have I'm really impressed with Zach Pyron. Like, I can't explain enough how proud of Zach Pyron I am and how he's been playing. And for him to go on the road like that, and in his first career start, he didn't get the start against Florida State. Obviously, we're both sitting here with blowout losses to Florida State.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do? But he didn't get the start against them. So his first career start against Virginia Tech, to stay calm like that. And I got to say, true freshman Zach Pyron is three times the quarterback that true freshman Jeff Sims was.
Okay.
I mean, Jeff, he throws way less interceptions. He's way more accurate. He makes better decisions, and he doesn't crack under pressure, and he can run. He's not as good of a runner as Jeff Sims, obviously, but he is very accurate. And the only problem he has really is he doesn't get rid of the ball very well before taking the sack. And of course, he's under tons of pressure because our offensive line is very bad.
Hey, well, we can relate, unfortunately. Yes. With that being said, Sea-Dog, I think it is time for the moment that everyone has been waiting for. And, I usually go first to take pressure off of the guest. So what I'm going to do... Okay. Is go ahead and write the score down. But then I want to show you something before I show you the score. So I have the score written down on my whiteboard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
Please, Sea-Dog. If you know somebody that knows somebody within the program, have mercy. Please. Sea-Dog, we haven't scored a touchdown in 9 quarters.
Wow.
2 games, Sea-Dog.
Wow.
So what I'm going to show you is about to make a lot of people very angry.
Man.
Georgia Tech. Now, I think we break this touchdown curse. Whatever it is that we have going on at Miami, we just cannot take the ball and put it in the end zone. So I do think that we can score a touchdown, maybe pick up a field goal. But I'm going to be honest, Sea-Dog. We've checked out. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's 3 games left. We have Clemson after you guys, and then Pitt. I honestly cannot confidently come on here and say that Miami can win another football game. And it's much deeper than just the Florida State game. There's way, 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 way more serious issues. So, yeah, I'm picking Georgia Tech to win this one. Now, I hate to be that guy. I don't think Georgia Tech is necessarily a good football team right now. There's obviously some glaring issues that you guys have as well, but I can't sit here and point the finger because we're dealing with it's weird, man. When you look at it, we both got blown out by Florida State. I think that the games were both close against multiple opponents, ACC opponents that we played, but you guys did get the better of Duke, and Duke blew our doors off, of course. Right. So it's a very interesting game. Both teams 4-5. I can't give Miami the dub. I can't. I hope they prove me wrong. The floor is yours.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And that Duke game, by the way, was an amazing, amazing game. I was there, and it went into overtime, and man, I was there, and what a great time that was. So, and it was hard.
What does it feel like to beat Duke? Does it feel good?
Oh man,
I gotta tell you,
I've never been so happy to beat Duke in my life, because that game we had just beaten Pittsburgh. we had beat Duke, and that was the first time we had won 2 games in a row in 4 years. To give you kind of perspective on the awful football that I've been subjected to under Jeff Collins, and to say that's finally over, it's been fun to be a Yellow Jacket fan again, even though we have problems with our quarterback going down against Virginia, and we were kind of transitioning still against Florida State. I feel like we got it. I feel like we're this season. We're up and down.
Yeah.
So we starting to get back rolling again into a rhythm. And unlike Miami, we are not checked out. We're trying to make a bowl. 3 games left. We got Miami, UNC, and Georgia. And those are 3.
Woo!
Well, if we want to make a bowl, let's just say that we have to beat Miami to make a bowl. So that is going to be something that we're going to be dialed in. We're going to want to get this win. So, and I think we do. I think Miami can get a touchdown. I think I would go with a final score of 17-24, Georgia Tech.
17-24?
16-24.
16-24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our defense is actually our strong suit. Our defense really only gave up 13 points last week against Virginia Tech. The other 2 were special teams. We are terrible at punt return coverage. We've allowed in the past 2 games 2 punt returns for touchdowns, and not something you want to see.
Well, and I mean, just be honest with me, Sea-Dog.
Mm-hmm.
From an outside perspective, is there any fear when it comes to you guys playing Miami? Like, I mean,
oh, absolutely.
Still? Okay.
I was scared. I was scared playing Western Carolina. Are you kidding me? I'm beaten and battered.
Look, man, I think us Miami fans there's been so much negativity and so many things have gone wrong. We've just lost all hope, man. Like I don't want to line it up with UTEP. Like,
yeah.
I'm serious.
Right. No, I am very nervous about this game. I think it'll be a close, good game. It'll probably be closer than both of our predicted scores, to be honest.
So I think for the first time in the history of the guest pickers, both Coop and the guest picker going with the opponent. Well, I guess for you are the Georgia Tech fan. So normally I bring Miami fans on here. So this is something different and unique. And this was actually really cool to do, to get your perspective on Miami and your team, the Yellow Jackets. So Sea-Dog, my man, I'm super grateful that you took time out of your day. And I'm at a loss. I don't have any closing words, I guess. Normally we end every one of these with throwing up to you, but obviously I can't ask you to do that. I mean, does Georgia Tech have anything?
No, we don't.
You don't have any kind of symbols or signs or nothing?
Or else you'd see me doing it all the time. Like, hey, I just do that right there.
Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Hey, y'all go check Sea-Dog out for real. Like I said, links to his channels in the description in my pinned comment. You know the drill. You know the giveaway. Sub, drop a comment on it, and I got you. I appreciate you guys very much for doing that.